So, hello friends, Aditya Suryavanshi here. And recently, I was on a project called as LLM Debate Agent. So this project mainly focus on the things like the LLMs get hallucinated very oftenly. Like sometimes you give the user query or you query something, but they give the answer which is out of the context. So that is the thing which occurs very oftenly. So I was just searching about one idea and came across the LLM debate agent, where one famous AI researcher has published that, or the famous AI researcher has mentioned, like to reduce the hallucinations of the LLM models. What we can do, we can set up one debate of the LLMs. Like there will be the many nodes in the debates, many nodes in the debates. You can assume it like as a parliament, like there is one case and all the other parliament members critic on these things, critic on the other parliament members, like this is not good, this is not good, and all the verdicts come to the one final stage where something is concluded, and that something gets concluded in the meeting. The same thing occurs in the LLM debate agent also, but the parliament member here are the LLMs and actual LLM nodes like Gemini, Mistral, Grok, and you can say Cloud Sonnet and whatnot. You can say OpenAI. Yeah. So a similar thing and similar kind of thing I was trying to build with the help of A2A protocol, Google ADK, LangGraph, MongoDB, FastAPI, and the React.js with the help of the Next.js and TypeScript. So I came up with the idea, why not to replicate or why not to just give a chance to the LLM debate agent. So what I have built is, I have built the debate council for the two nodes, and I have used a Google Gemini and the Mistral node in here. So you can see the architecture which is out there. Uh, so I just want to review the architecture, and I just want to give a architecture review of this particular LLM debate agent. That's what. So whenever the user query will come to our agent, like I have designed architecture in this way, following way, like whenever the user query will come to our agent, there will be one fast API backend, and there will be one endpoint from where we will give this user query to the supervisor node. Okay, there will be one client class of the A2A which will be having the exact reference of the supervisor node. So this client class will take the user query from the fast API backend and we will give it to the supervisor node. Then the real thing comes with the supervisor node. The supervisor node will delegate this user query via A2A protocol to the Gemini node and a Mistral node. Okay, so user query comes, goes to the supervisor via A2A, and the supervisor communicates with the other agents, which will be generating the output and which will be debating the parliament members of our LLM council, and they will get the user query. Like the Gemini node will get the user query, and the Mistral node will get the user query. So Gemini node like Gemini node and Mistral will get the user query, but the first thing will be out there, like I have designed it in the way the Gemini will give the output firstly, like the LLM which will be faster will give the output first. Okay, so the in this case Gemini gives faster because Mistral is not fast enough as much as the Gemini, and Gemini gives the output fastly. So once output is generated, the Gemini will check how many members are in the LLM council. For our case, there is only one member, expect Gemini, that is Mistral. So he will say, hey, hi Mistral, I have generated the output and just give the critique of this output. So Mistral will say, hi, and this communication occurs via A2A protocol with the help of the client classes. If you know the A2A well, you know the agent cards and agent skills and agent capabilities things. So this handshake occurs through purely via A2A, where Gemini goes through Mistral and say, hey, I have generated the response. The Mistral will handshake with the Gemini and will say, yes, I will critique this. Then the Mistral node will critique the output of the Gemini, and Mistral will heavily critique the output of the Gemini. And then after creating the critique, with the help of the critic, user query, and the output generated by the Gemini, it will generate one sophisticated output. It will generate one enhanced output, which will be given back to the Gemini, and Gemini will treat it as its response. That's the first thing which occurs in a LLM debate council. For now, or for as of now, I have just added only one round of the debate. Okay, it is optimized to only one round of debate for now. If we can add, we can obviously add n numbers of round where the Mistral node will give n number of critics each time. Like the first time it will give the critic, then it will give the rigorous critic regarding the first user query and the output generated by the Gemini. So as long as and we can set it to the n number of what you can say n number of rounds. So at the n number of rounds, it will generate the critic and will give to the Gemini. A similar thing occurs at the Mistral node. Like Mistral will first of all generate the output, then give it, then it will handshake with the all other agents in the network in the LLM council. And for our case, it's the Gemini. So the Gemini will also handshake with the Mistral, and he says, "Yes, buddy, I will critique your output." And then it Gemini generates the output and give the final response to the Mistral. When the both of them have the final responses at their end, here comes the real intruder in the picture, that is supervisor. And what I have told is the generating the normal response, generating the critique, generating the final response. All these things are traced into the OPIC tracing. Like the OPIC is the agent observability platform. So all the things, all LLM calls, input, outputs, and all matrices are being traced to the OPIC. So supervisor will go to the OPIC once the both nodes, or the once the all nodes in the LLM council will give their final responses. It will go to the, what you can say, go to the OPIC workspace, and it will fetch out the final response, final traces which are out there of responses of the particular nodes. And now it will have the Gemini final trace and the Mistral final trace. So the supervisor node will what can I say, the supervisor node will be getting these two traces, and it will check how relevant the user query is to the output generated by this agent, and according to that, which one has the more score of answer relevancy according to the OPIC will be delivered back to the user. So this was my whole idea of making the LLM debate agent. But and the central authority, yeah, talking about the central authority is the thing where all the things get traced. Like you can say it is the central status kind of thing. Like when the Gemini has generated the output, it will just go to the central authority and say, yeah, mark my output as done, and I'm going to critique the Mistral. So like this the things occur with the central authority, and the things are there. So the thing was, or thing is, I was thinking, like we are wasting, not wasting, we are using 6 LLM calls for generating the normal user query output. Whereas I can return this output in the one single LLM call, like ChatGPT or Gemini or anything are there. The thing is, when I completed the development of this, I got into the stuck into the loop. Like it is not optimized at that level where it can be published or where it can be generalized. If a company has to pay 6 rupees instead of 1 rupees, no one can take this up. So I just want I just want you to review the things which are there in this system or in this architecture, and we can, if we can optimize it to the bare minimum level. Consider this is only a 2 node LLM council. Consider there are 40 nodes in the LLM council, then what will occur and what will be the bill of one user query? So this system is kind of not optimized for that level. I think till now it is in a prototype mode, but we can restrict the number of nodes in the LLM council to, suppose 4 to 5 nodes are there, then we have to optimize it at a level where it uses a bare minimum LLM calls but gives the more efficient output than the chat GPT or the Gemini or a single LLM, than the single LLM, we can say. So that's what I am what you can say, trying to get out of it. And that was the system review and system architecture. If you feel anything is wrong in here, if you want to contribute to this project is open. You can check my GitHub, and this project is open for the contributions. You can raise a PR, I will review it, we can discuss. And like, I want to optimize only the LLM calls in here. I think rest other things are fine, and I have to make it more optimized for the A2A protocol also, because sometimes A2A protocol fails, so we have to optimize two things. So let's see, and thanks for watching. And that was the whole LLM debate agent project. So see you with the next project. Sayonara, bye.